Great game. Phenomenal game, even. This is like one of the best games I've ever played. Like, honestly, this is my favorite game. I played this so many times and that ending never gets old. I love it. This game is just so good. That ending, like, I love that ending too. Part of me, I feel like I didn't like the fact that Lean came back at first, but I definitely like... It's exactly what, like, Fina says. She says miracles do happen. Like, the spirits. Like, that's the kind of world Grandia is. Yeah, it doesn't make logical sense how Lean is back, but, like, that's Grandia. Grandia is so, like, the spirits, like, miracles and all, so, like, I feel like that just adds on to how she's back. That ending was really good, you know? Justin bringing the whole world together, really cool. There's actually one more scene which plays as the epilogue, so I'm not going to talk about the ending too much now. I'm going to start reviewing the game, though, and then we'll review it after that epilogue. But, yeah, this game is just really good. I've sung its praises in other playthroughs, and I've sung its praises in this playthrough, so, there's a couple of stuff I want to talk about, more of the story stuff, but I'm going to get the easy stuff out of the way. The graphics look really good in this game. This was made on the PS1. I think they did really good with the sprite work. The sprite work is beautiful. It looks great. The 2D with 3D backgrounds looks really good. Most of the graphical fidelities come, like the graphical hiccups come with the HD collection. The filtering looks really bad sometimes. There are times where some sprites have like boxes and you could like see it and it's like an error or whatever. Like it looks really bad. But that's the HD collection's fault. They didn't put a way to turn off the filter, or they did the filter bad, so they should have done that better. They should have upscaled the graphics a little better. But, yeah. That's, the graphics look good from the PS1. Like, this game is possibly one of the best looking PS1 games. It does have a lot of sprites, but even then, it looks gorgeous. Like, it's not like 3D like some of the early Final Fantasy games, but what they used, what they had, they did really good with. So, it just looks really beautiful. Some of the artwork looks really nice. It's just really nice to look at. The music is also really good. I love the soundtrack. You could tell that some tracks use loops. Like, they reused a lot of tracks. Like, they would have, like, a certain loop of a battle theme be in, like, a track. But either way, the soundtrack was really good, so I didn't mind that too much. That might get on your nerves if you didn't like the soundtrack. But, you know, soundtrack's really good. It's good for what it is. I like the theme of Grandia. Sandy Beach of Gumbo is a good track. Lots of just standout tracks. The soundtrack is just... I think Nuadar... I forget the composer's name, but he did a really good job with the soundtrack. But yeah, the voice acting, it's bad, but it's good. It's got that cheesy kind of feel to it, and I love it. It's hilariously bad, but I love it. And gameplay is really fun. I love the system that Grandia invented, kind of basing it off ATB, but putting a twist on it. Canceling enemy actions is really satisfying. Special moves are great. Magic's great. Combat's just phenomenal and a ton of fun. And there's going to be the cutscene now, so I'm actually going to be quiet. We'll talk about the story, the characters, and my nitpicks after this cutscene. Developed by Game Arts. Thank you, Game Arts.
This ends the story of Justin and friends and our adventures with the Spirit Stone and Angelo. The story of Justin, the adventurer, became known throughout the world. Aunt Lily! The ship is almost here! Hurry!
The pie isn't done yet. Sorry, dear. I'm afraid you're going to have to go without me, okay?
Okay, see ya! Let's go, Puffy! It's been 10 years since that long adventure ended. The world we live in has changed so much.
Hey! Not you again! Don't you ever get tired of mischief like that?
This is no mischief. We're in training to become adventurers.
Oh, where have I heard that before?
You just don't understand.
Yeah, that's right.
Do that somewhere where it won't bother people. Are you listening? No blocking bridges.
Well, maybe things haven't changed much. But you know, it has certainly gotten busier. Today is the day I've been waiting for so long. Justin and Fina are coming home after 10 years of adventures. I wonder what Justin will say when he sees I've become such a beautiful lady. He might be just so surprised that his tongue will be tied. I'm looking forward to it.
Yay! We're in Parm. Now where's this seagull restaurant?
There's yummy food there, right? I'm hungry.
Hey, what's that? Hey, it makes noises. It makes a neat sound.
Hey, let's get it!
Neat. It's so soft.
Oh, this must be Puffy. It's just like Daddy said. Looks kind of like a lamb.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, are you... Where's your mommy and daddy?
Over there. They're still on the ship.
Ah, it's running away. Gonna catch ya.
Yay! Hey,
Get
hurry
him!
up!
Get him!
Come on, catch him! Catch him!
Justin! Fina!
You cowards! Show me the brave couple 10 years later. Oh, that's a nitpick too. I mean, like, that's kind of a nitpick. I get what they were going for, but I really wish we get to see Justin and Fina. The end. I really wanted to see Justin and Fina 10 years older. They would be like 25. I really want to see that. Oh man, dude, I wanted to see that. Either way, that was a really good epilogue. Seeing Sue as a mature lady, which is kind of what she was talking about when she was younger. That's really nice. Really good epilogue. Seeing Justin and Fina have kids, and you know, they're a thing now. I really wish we got to see them though, but that's more of like a, oh, come on. That's more of like a, if you cut it a little later, at least a sprite work. They ain't even have to say words. At least just see them, their sprites. Oh man. Either way, really good epilogue. But yeah, music's really good. Graphics look really nice for the time, and nice artwork and all that. Gameplay's really fun. The only gripe I have with the gameplay really is just, it's too easy. And the difficulty is just like, you can get really overpowered really easily, and that's fine. Like, let me get overpowered, but just make the bosses have more HP and like do more damage. Like, the game becomes a joke. It's pretty easy, like, from all of the game, but like, it becomes really apparent later on. Like, I know a lot of people say the whole game's easy, and I do agree. I'm fine with the difficulty for, like, Disc 1, and, like, parts of Disc 2. I feel like Disc 2, the game really becomes a joke. Like, 60% through the game, the game becomes, like, a joke. Like, that's where it gets a little too easy. That's where I'm like, it definitely shows, and especially after the Tower of Temptation, the end of the game is just a joke. The final boss was easy, and all the later bosses were just a joke, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, obviously, it's a nitpick with the game if I had to choose something. But that's about the only complaint I can think of. And obviously there's some other things I mentioned that be some good ideas to change the game. But again, they're not really nitpicks because I like everything else in the game. It really is just a difficulty. I can't think of any other flaw for the game, honestly. Like, everything else is just perfect. And yeah, I really don't have anything else to criticize. Maybe when I'm talking, I'll kind of have some half compliments, half like minor criticisms. But yeah. So now, we talked about the music, the gameplay, and the graphics. We're going to talk about the story and characters. I'm going to meld these together, kind of. So, the story in this game, we're going to talk about Disc 1 and 2. I don't know how long this will take. This might take like 20 minutes to review the game. If it does, bear with me. You don't even have to watch, but you know, I love this game, so I'm going to talk about everything I want to. So, we're going to talk about the characters first, I think, because characters should go first. They're kind of going to go together, but the story in this game starts off simplistic, you know, starts off relatively simplistic, where, I'm gonna keep the screen here so I don't have to hear the opening over and over again, but yeah. The story in this game is simplistic at first. You know, Justin is a boy, he wants to go on an adventure, see the world. fairly simplistic, but this game was made in 1997, so I forgive it. But, like, it's not even the plot that I love about this game. The execution is great. You know, you go off with Sue and all, and then there's, like, Justin. There's so many iconic moments in the game, too. Like, I'm going to talk about those in a bit. But, the story of this game isn't even that, like, the story itself isn't even that deep. It's relatively basic, but my line of thinking is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, if a story is basic, it can be good. A story that's basic isn't, like, innovative, but it doesn't need to be innovative to be good. It could just, like, you know, a story could be, like, good. Like, a story can be good if it's basic, and this game does that. Like, the relative premise of the plot is simple, but it works out, and I think mostly the way this game goes is, like, it has a clear focus on the characters and world building rather than the story itself. Like, the story for Disc 1 is, like, the adventure. Disc 2 is really when the plot gets going, but the adventure really, it's not the destination, it's the journey. That really applies for this game. Like, your destination is a Lent for so long, and you finally go there, like, 30, I mean, for me it was 30 plus hours. You could probably make it less if you didn't talk to all the NPCs. But you're going to a Lent. It's not the destination, it's the journey. That really applies with this game, because the journey is what I really love about this game. Like, the characters really make it worth it. The concept of going on an adventure, exploring the world, it was really neat for the time, innovative for the time, and it still is innovative even now. Like, I still love the journey. It's just such a treat to go through. Like, seeing Justin mature, that's another thing. Justin as a character, I'll get into him in a minute, but the story is just basic, but it works. And Disc 2 does kind of go left field a bit with the Gaia stuff, because Disc 1 has, like, no villain buildup at all. There's really no villain of Disc 1. I mean, Garlisle Forces, I guess, are your villain, but they're not even that bad. I'm also going to talk about the Garlisle Forces in a minute as well. You really don't meet the actual villain of the game till Disc 2, so Disc 1 really is lighthearted. You're not meeting the main villain. The Garlisle Forces, even then, they're not really bad. Like, they don't really come off as bad. They're just, like, after you because you trespassed into Salt Ruins and all. And they want the Spirit Stone for their own thing, but they never really go about their intentions in an evil, despicable way. So even then, the Garlisle Forces aren't, like, terrible. And you learn later with Mullen and Lean that they're not bad, except General Ball. He's rotten to the core. But everyone else is just, they have somewhat reasons for what they're doing. But yeah, that's it for the plot. Like, the plot is just good. Disc 1's plot was really well done with the adventure. I loved the arcs they had, going to different towns and all. The moments I loved. I hate the Pecan arc. I really like Gumbo Village, because that just develops Justin and Fina, and they are great characters. And, you know, just all the places you go, and, like, you know, the story's just good. Disc 1 really is about world building, you know, building up to certain locations of the game. The world building's just so well done. Also, the end of the world is really good, really well done. So yeah, the world building is so good. And talking to NPCs just expands the world building. You get so much lore. You can ignore it if you want, but you really won't get much world building. You'll get a little bit of world building without the NPCs, but you get, like, the maximum amount of world building with the NPCs. And that's why I love playing this game, talking to all the NPCs. Honestly, I think it's the best way to enjoy the game. You don't have to talk to every single NPC. You don't have to talk to them at certain points, but talking to some NPCs will increase your enjoyment of the game, believe me. Also, the dialogue is really good and hilarious. I love it. But, yeah, the world building's so well done. The way they build up the locations. Also, the concept of not being able to go back. So you're really only in one place for that part of the game and you just can't go back. It adds that sense of... What's the word I'm looking for? It adds that sense of, like, progression to the game. Like, you can't go back to Parm Village. It really adds that... I can't think of the way to describe it, but it's like you have to value your time in the place because you can't go back. So they do that really well, even though not being able to backtrack sucks from a gameplay perspective, but they do it really well in this game. And Disc 2, I definitely like Disc 1 more, mostly because Sue leaves. I wish Sue didn't leave. That's also kind of a nitpick I have at the game. I wish Sue was in more of Disc 2, but you know, I guess it's kind of valid why she leaves. She is still a child, so her adventuring probably isn't the best idea, so it's kind of justified why she leaves, although it kind of sucks that you don't have Sue, because I really like Sue. But yeah, Disc 2 is where the Gaia stuff comes in. I don't mind the Gaia stuff. The Gaia stuff's good. They have a lot of ideologies later on, which I really like, and the whole Akarian stuff. That's really cool. Angelonian stuff. And part of me does miss the adventuring vibe, but Disc 2 is done really well nonetheless, and the game did have to have a villain, so I guess that's why they pulled the Gaia stuff. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the characters now, and then I'll go into like some other stuff, like iconic moments in the game. So the characters are really good in this game. The game does really well with the rotating cast. I love games with rotating casts, like Final Fantasy IV, Lufia 2, and other Grandia games. Games that have like a rotating cast, it really adds to their characters. But as I said, Sue I really like. I like Sue. She's like she's a child. She's not as annoying as other child characters. You know, she acts like she knows more than Justin. Like a little sister figure to Justin, which is really cool. She's also really, she has a lot of good moments in the game. And Puffy, she has her companion Puffy. But yeah, Sue's really entertaining throughout the game and journey. I feel like she makes the journey, honestly. But I also like Justin. Justin, there are some times where Justin will say something or Justin will act a certain way. And his behavior makes me cringe, and I'm like, ugh, Justin, come on. Like, there are times where I want to, like, kill Justin. Not kill Justin, that's a bit harsh. But there are times where I want to, like, slap Justin for the stuff he says, but I do like Justin. I love his positivity, I love his personality, how he's like, oh, we can't... It's kind of like happy-go-lucky, like, we can't give up, we have to do what's in the best interest and all, but, like, he really just wants to go on with the world, because no one in the world was able to climb the end of the world, and Justin just said, yeah, screw this, I'm gonna climb the end of the world despite no one doing it. So, Justin doing that was really well done. Justin's character was really good. He really matures throughout the journey, and I love it. Like, he really becomes more mature. Like, Disc 1, he's a little childish, and then he becomes mature. I love that progression system. Like, it's very human. Like, you know, Justin's just a kid. He's 15 years old, and he just develops into a mature adventurer. And, you know, I think that's really well done. It's simple, basic, but straight to the point. It's good. It's really well done, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's really well done. I love Justin a lot. And I also like Fina. Fina's best girl. She's probably the best character in the game, honestly. And Justin and Fina's relationship is so heartwarming. I love it so much. Justin and Fina, they are the best, probably one of my favorite couples, if not my favorite couple in gaming. I love their relationship. I love how it flourishes throughout the game. I also love Fina's development, how she's like this cocky adventurer because she's like top adventurer, and she soon learns that the Adventurers Guild isn't all that, and that Justin's view of adventuring is much better than the Adventurers Society. So Fina learning that from Justin was really well done. That's Fina's character for like most of Disc 1, like, you know, learning the true purpose of adventuring, and then later you find out she's an Ikarian. Like, dude, that's wild. like yeah, you find out she's an Ikarian, and then you find out that she has this sad fate that she could die by stopping Gaia, and you also find out that she has to like help Lean through the operation to beat Gaia. I'll get more into that in a minute. Yeah, Fina's so well done. Like, she just like, yeah, she's best girl, obviously. I'm saying she's my favorite, but like, she just oozes with personality. They all ooze with her personality, but like, Fina feels like, how do I put this without like butchering the way I'm saying it? But like, the way Fina, like, her emotions are real. Not necessarily the voice actress, like, doing a good job. I mean, the voice actress did do a decent job at some of the emotional cutscenes. But, Fina as a character is so deep with, like, her feelings. Like, she really, like, the way she goes through certain moments is really well done. Like, when she's scared, when she's sad, when she's, like, happy, or, like, when she's going through, like, the serious moments of the game, like, with the Ikarian stuff. And with, like, I'm thinking of the one scene where, Justin and Fina... Not Justin and Fina. I'm thinking of the one scene where, not the one scene. I'm thinking of the moment where she sees Lean in Kafu Village. And, trying to find a way to word this. She sees Lean in Kafu Village, and she starts to question why is Lean doing this, and, all that. And, she just really starts to, like, I don't know, she's always, like, for most of this, too, she's, like, contemplating, like, why are the Garlisle forces doing this? Like, she's just, I really don't know how to describe it, but, like, she's just such a great character, and, like, the way she portrays her emotions, I guess that's a good way to put it. She portrays her emotions really well, and the emotions she goes through, I like feel for her, but it's well done. I love it. Game Arts just did such a great job with Fina, and the characters in general. The other characters I definitely like. I definitely like Guido, Gadwin, Milda. Like, the moments they have are good. Like, Gadwin and Milda specifically, they're really supposed to be, Gadwin's really only supposed to be important for the Dite arc. His whole relationship with Justin, man-to-man promise is really nice. Milda, you know, we didn't get much of Milda, but what we got of her was good, you know. Her whole relationship with Rap and the Lanians and Gaffunians becoming friends was really well done. And Guido was cool. You know, Guido was cool. He was kind of like the guide for Justin, leading him on the right path to relent, so that was really good. Rap is really cool. Rap is kind of hilarious. There are also things that Rap says that make me want to die, but Rap is really cool. I did like his brotherly relationship with Justin. Calling him Just was really neat. And he was just kind of like he was also like out for revenge, but also he managed to keep a positive tone. Like, his parents were turned to stone and he managed to keep a positive tone. And again, kind of like Justin, he's like trying to do what's in the best interest at the moment. So he's kind of like Justin in that respect. But yeah, he was good. He was good. I don't like him more than Sue, but he was pretty well done, I think. I definitely like Rap more than I did ever since I played this game the first time, so my opinion of him changed. And finally, Liete. I'm gonna be honest, Liete's definitely missed potential. I do like Liete a good deal. Like, her whole, like, she's mysterious for most of the game. You're trying to get to Relent, and Justin wants to meet her. She's really mysterious for most of the game. But, and then later on, you learn that her tablet will be, like, she doesn't want her tablet to be blue. And she goes with Justin because she thinks Justin tells her that he could change her fate. So that's really cool. Although I do wish she came a little earlier, like joined the team earlier in the game, which would also mean I wish we went to Relent earlier. She comes late in the game that all she really provides is like, oh, Gaia's doing this, we need to stop it, basically. And that's unfortunate. You do get some moments with her in the NPC dialogue where she's like, oh, so this is this, and this is what the world has come to. Like, her seeing the world, because she's never really been to the world. She's been stuck on a Lent for her whole life. So she's kind of the sheltered character. I just wish she came a little earlier, but even what we got of her was really good. And I do like her mysterious character throughout the game when you're going to a Lent. So, yeah, the characters in this game are just so well done. Even the villains. I know a lot of people don't like Nana, Saki, and Mio, but they do provide a lot of comedic moments, and I do like them. I like them a good deal. They're not like the best written characters, but they're pretty funny. Nana, Saki, and Mio. And I think they fill in the role they're supposed to play pretty well. They're kind of like Team Rocket, but they're more entertaining, honestly. And they provide some comedic moments, so I definitely like the train moment where they get stuck on the train. That's good. But yeah, I think they provide like joke villains for Justin pretty well. But yeah, they're relatively like simplistic, but they're fine. They're good characters, I think. Not great characters, they're good characters. But yeah. And Lean and Mullen, also great. I love Lean and Mullen a lot. They're both really good. I feel like we got a lot of Lean in the moment where Justin and Fina got separated. That was definitely really good. Seeing Lean smile for the first time was really cool, and seeing a new side of her when she's with Justin was really cool. And how she let him get away with the Spirit Stone was really neat. So I think Lean was pretty well done. I do wish Lean actually used her combat skills more, but whatever. Mullen was really cool too. I loved how they did Mullen. They could have done him a little better, but I loved what they did with him because he was against his father for a while, kind of. Like, he was secretly, like, kind of finding a way to overthrow his father because his mother was a humanoid, and General Ball, like, basically kind of used her to some effect. I don't remember exactly, but he basically wanted to uncover the secrets of Angelo and take over Gaia, so he basically used Mullen's mother for that, and Mullen, like, resents his father for it, so he wants to, like, find a new path, find his own way to, like, stop Gaia, and yeah, basically, and, like, save the world from destruction. But yeah, Mullen was good. But yeah, that's the characters. Characters are really well done. I love the way they do the rotating cast. And yeah, basically. So, now, we talked about the plot. I think the plot is good, but it's the journey, not the destination, that's important. I'm going to talk about the moments in the game. Some of the moments I really like in this game, just the iconic moments. And then I'll stop talking, I promise. I pretty much got all I wanted to with this game. But yeah. So, the moments. Justin's mom's letter. I love that moment. Justin reading the letter from his mom. And, you know, she knowing that he's gonna leave on an adventure. And, like, that moment was just really well done. The music really made it well done. And, I just love it. It was such a tearjerker for me, honestly, when I first played the game. And seeing Justin read that letter and actually leaving home was really well done. Going who knows where. And by who knows where, I mean Alen. So yeah, that was really well done. Trying to go in order here. As I said, the train moment was really well done. And by well done, I mean hilarious. Don't really think I count that though. I'm looking for iconic moments. But yeah, the letter from Justin's mom. The end of the world, climbing the end of the world is really cool. The concept of climbing this really high, almost impossible wall that Justin doesn't want to think is impossible was really neat. Going up there, just the concept of climbing it up and having several campsites was cool. And then by the time you reach the top of it, you see like oh, we're as high as the birds fly. I think Justin says that in the game. You see the birds and everything. You're like as high as the birds. It's really cool. And then you see like the view of the other side. Like no one's managed to climb this wall, but Justin has. Justin, Fina, and Sue, the trio of adventurers, my favorite trio in this game, managed to climb this wall that no one has been able to climb. It's just really neat and really well done. I love it. It's just such a great moment going through it. And the Gumbo arc, I loved the brave couple. The concept of Justin and Fina, that was part of their relationship growing. You constantly see, actually, Justin and Fina's relationship growing. They meet in the ghost ship, and Justin says, like, oh, she's kind of cute. And Fina is just this cocky adventurer that thinks she knows everything and thinks she's a top adventurer, and then later she learns she's not. And yeah, but and then as you see, like, Fina like teases Justin about oh, we go way back when we were married in Parm. That's another thing. When you beat Pakan and Master Chang, you come out and you and Fina are like, people think you're married. And then Fina constantly brings that back, like, as a joke, like, oh, remember this, Justin, when we got married? And then Justin, like, replies, like, we weren't married. But then Fina admits that she was joking. Like, that's her kind of teasing him and developing feelings for him. I just love it. It's really cool. The way their relationship flourishes like that. And you being on the volcano with her is really cool. The sandy beach of Gumbo is neat. You and her on the beach. That's, like, I think where she officially confesses her love for him, but he's oblivious, so Justin doesn't think that it's anything serious. There's two moments where Fina officially, like, confesses her love for him. It's the sandy beach of Gumbo, which is the little islet in Gumbo when you're watching when it's nighttime and the spirits are around you. And the boat scene when you leave Sue and Gabwin is another scene. But yeah, both of those moments are really well done. I love that because it basically expands their relationship and shows it growing throughout the game, so that's really cool. But yeah, that's a good moment in the game. Trying to think what else. Sue's goodbye, as sad as it is, it really makes me cry, but I do think it's well done to some effect. Like, they really tried to make you in the fields, and it did really well at that. It really reminded me of Tia from Lufia 2. But yeah, really well done. And, trying to think what else. Disc 1 had a lot of the iconic moments. Disc 2 did have a few. I can't really think of anything specific in Disc 2 that I was like, yeah, this is a cool moment. Trying to think right now. Yeah, Disc 2 didn't really have, like, iconic moments specifically. I guess getting to Alen. Like, getting to Alen was a big deal because you've been anticipating it the whole game. So that was cool. Getting to Alen for the first time and meeting with Liete. Like, in person. And learning the fate of the Ikarians and all. Oh, I forgot a moment. Disc 1. Separating Justin and Fina. Like, Justin being with Lean and Mullen being with Fina. This really shows you. This is like where you find out that Mullen really isn't a bad guy. His motives might seem like you're against him, so you think he's a bad guy, and later on you find out his motives might seem wrong, but Mullen really isn't a bad guy. He has good intentions, it's just the way he goes about it, so yeah. Fina being with Mullen is nice, like Fina even saying, yeah, Mullen's not such a bad guy, which is what I was feeling, like Mullen's a pretty chill dude. And, again, Justin with Lean is really nice, getting their relationship. Also, Mullen teaches Fina about the Ikarian's fate and talks about his mother a little bit, so that's really cool. And, you learn about... That's also where you learn about, like, how the Ikarians took the Spirit Stone, like, how they keep the Spirit Stones out of human hands, but, like, Justin's trusted by the spirits and all, which is why he has one. But yeah, really well done. That's good for, like, increasing... That teaches you about the lore, which is really nice. But yeah, Disc 2... The parts I love in Disc 2 really is, like, you know, Gaia comes, you meet General Ball, and you find out he's evil, which is very obvious that he's evil. And, yeah. That's really nice. And Fina sees him, and she's like, I'm shaking, I can't stop shaking. And she finds out that she's an Ikarian. You also learn that Lean is an Ikarian. And, you learn that General Ball is gonna use Lean, and eventually Fina, for his evil plan to awaken the power of the Spirit Stone. But yeah. So yeah, that's really well done. Like, again, Disc 2's moments. Another moment I could think of, when Justin and Fina are falling. When Fina, like, falls and Justin jumps down to save her, and then Fina's Ikarian wings come out. That's a great moment in the game. That's, like, right before you go to a Lent. That's a really nice moment. But yeah. And just the whole sequence of the Grandia is really cool, like, trying to rescue Fina, like, Justin trying to rescue the girl he loves. Like, I think Justin knows for a while in Disc 2, like, he starts to figure out, like, yeah, I love Fina, and I just don't want anything to happen to her, I want to keep her safe. And he doesn't straight up say, I love you, Fina, but, like, it's obvious that Justin and Fina are an item at the end of the game, and it's obvious that they love each other. I love it. It's just, my goodness, this love story is just so well told. But yeah. And, Fina is only damsel in distress, like, 2 or 3 times, so luckily it's not, like, annoying to that effect. But yeah, really well done scenes in Disc 2. What I really love about Disc 2 at the end is the whole New Path arc. I love the arc where... I do think Mullen is a little naive, you know, for not saying something to General Ball sooner, and also not believing Lean about the power that Justin and Fina have. When Zilpadan is attacked, Lean tells Mullen, hey, I don't think we need to use the Ikarian's death to stop Gaia. We can actually use the power that Justin and Fina have. But then Mullen pretty much says, no, we gotta stick to the same plan and use the Ikarians to end the world and all, not end the world, to stop Gaia and all and save the world. So Mullen has a one-track mind. Ball also has a one-track mind. Ball just wants to awaken Gaia and get the Spirit Stone and all, and basically be evil. So Ball doesn't have much depth, and he's just evil. But that's fine. I never really expected much of Ball anyway. We barely see Ball. We see him in the beginning, and then we end up seeing him later and like, oh, he's bad. But yeah. I love that. And Mullen, again, I really like Mullen's character. Like, his intentions aren't bad, but he goes about it the wrong way. And Mullen at the end even said, like, oh, he went down a mistake path. Like, he realizes where he went wrong, and that was really well done. That was a good way to end his arc. Like, he realizes where he went wrong, and that was really good. Like, Mullen realizes his mistakes. And even, like, the part where you fight Mullen 1v1, he realizes, yeah, it was me who didn't understand Lean. So Mullen atones for his sins, I think. Like, not even his sins. They weren't that bad. He atones for his mistakes. Definitely. I don't know what that sound is, but my stream disconnected, but I'm gonna keep talking because we're almost done with stream anyway. But yeah. It's just like, you know, Mullen realizes where he went wrong, and that's really well done. I love it. So Mullen's a great character for that respect. I do wish he realized things sooner, but, you know, can't have everything in life. But anyway, I do think that, Mullen was really good. And, I do think the whole New Path thing, it's cheesy. At the end, you know, power of friendship, we'll find a new path, humans really aren't bad. It's cheesy, but this was made in 1997, and the way they do it is really well done. It's very Grandia 2-esque. I know where Grandia 2 got it from. But yeah, that's all well done. And I know it's not focused on as much, it's not deep, But the ideologies, my goodness, I could speak. The ideologies of Justin and Mullen, like Justin believing that no one has to die and we can just save the world, opposing to Mullen's like, we have to use the Ikarians, but Justin not wanting to repeat the same tragic mistakes of the past. So those conflict really well. I mean, again, they're basic and not much depth, but again, this game was made in 1997, and for the time, it was really good. And it still holds up today. But yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to talk about. Again, Disc 2 is really like, I do like Disc 2. I think Disc 1 is better, but Disc 2 has good moments, specifically in the climax of the game. The Grandior, going to a Lent. Starting when you go to the Grandior is where Disc 2 gets really good. All of the game is good, honestly. I can't think of a specific moment I hate in this game. Probably the Pecan arc, like rescuing, like Pecan taking Fina hostage, because Pecan's existence bothers me. But other than that, I can't think of a moment that I actively dislike in this game. Every moment besides Pecan, because I hate Pecan's existence, but even then it's only for an hour. Even then, this whole game is just a treat to go through. I just love it. As I said, it's the journey, not the destination. That really just... I said it already so many times, but that applies to this game. That's how you describe this game. That's how I describe this game. Like, that's why I love it so much. It's the journey that just... It's such a treat to go through. And that's why this is my favorite game, I think. It's just the emotions I feel going through this game and, like, the world building. It's just so good. I love this game so much. And seeing Justin and Fina's relationship is just phenomenal. But yeah, I think I'm done rambling now. That was a long time. I rambled for like 20 minutes. I had 20 to 30 minutes about this phenomenal game. It deserves it, though. This game is just so good. But yeah, some people say like, oh, this game is dated. It made in 1997. You know what? If you don't like dated games and old games, it may not be for you. But this is the ideal game for me. This was a game done right in 1997. It still is well done. Like, even playing it today, I could play this game, like, so many times and never get sick of it. I love it so much. But yeah, I think that's gonna end this review and this playthrough. But yeah, those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed this, longer than normal playthrough. This playthrough took, like, almost 50 hours, and I think that's also because I talked to NPCs. So this game is, like, you could finish this game in like 30 hours, I would say. 25 to 30 hours. Probably 30 hours. Grandia 2 is shorter. You can finish this game in like 30 hours if you don't talk to NPCs. Obviously, I spent the time talking to NPCs. And you don't have to do the side dungeons either. Or get all the spells. So, I definitely got the most out of this game. I want to do 100% it because I love it so much. But yeah. Those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed this phenomenal return to my favorite game of all time. And I truly enjoyed this game. It was such a treat to go through talking to NPCs and just going through this game because I love it so much. I cannot stop singing its praises. It's just so good. But yeah, I'll be back with more Grandia in the future. The next Grandia thing I'm going to do is probably Parallel Trippers, which is a spin-off to this game, and I look forward to playing it. I have never touched it. We're going to do Parallel Trippers. We'll eventually do Grandia Extreme and Grandia 3. I want to replay Grandia 2 at some point, and I do want to play the Grandia Redux patch. That's going to be later on because I just played this game. But I have other playthroughs to get to, so I can't do Grandia Redux super soon. But, this game was such a treat to go through yet again. I never get tired of it, and I hope you join me for future playthroughs that I will do Grandia or otherwise. But yeah, no stream for the weekend, chat, and then we'll be back on Monday with Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. We'll continue that with the Moray Sister puzzle. And then Tuesday, we're gonna not start something new necessarily. We're gonna take Grandia's place by continuing Trails of Cold Steel. I'm gonna stream that playthrough now. The rest of the playthrough I have with the game. We're gonna try to finish it before Arise comes out so I can start Cold Steel 2 while playing Arise. Because I have to finish Cold Steel. So we'll do Cold Steel on Tuesday in Grandia's place. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching the playthrough. I enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you all next time.